You better run fast. I need like 8 racks. How long blade make big gap? Crazy, I'll admit that. You better run fast. I need like 8 racks.
What's good, y'all? Shields here. Come back to another video. Today we're gonna be to break into my school at night for test answers by Yo-Yo. If you're new, subscribe. And I'm starting in 3, 2, 1. There we go.
Like 8:30 p.m. at this point. I'm literally behind my teacher's desk.
Peep the face. You'll see his face.
Holding someone else's graded state final exam. If I get caught, there is literally no logical excuse I can make. It's over. I could get expelled. Maybe even arrested for trespassing, honestly. And almost as if it was on cue. Before I could even put the test back.
Oh no.
The light in the room turns on.
Breaking into my school.
Yo, I really appreciate you guys a lot
What's he
for
doing?
supporting me, for real.
Oh, there we
because
go.
I made a lot of hard decisions to get here, man. I spent years working more than 40 hours a week on videos. I disappointed my family by not going to college. I cut off friends, told some pretty personal stories to random people on the internet. Bullet was 1 foot long and getting yeeted out of your pants. But it was all worth it because I'm fulfilling what I believe to be my life's purpose. But now, Mr.
Bruh. I better be included.
Making people laugh. Of all the perks that come with being a YouTuber,
If I'm not included, I'm gonna be
the most
mad.
important one to me. It makes me feel
I better be
really
included in the
good, so
reaction.
I don't regret not one decision I made to get here. Well, except for one. Let me tell you about the time I broke multiple laws for the sake of pursuing my passion. This took place near the end of my senior year of high school. I was just getting into my channel around this time, so I was struggling with the workload of making videos and also being a student. What I'd do is I'd go to school, edit videos in the morning and during lunchtime, and then at the end of the day, I'd go home, set a 1-hour timer, and then cram all of the homework from that day within that hour, and then work on YouTube videos up until around 3 a.m. Then I'd wake up at 7 a.m. and do it all over again.
That sounds like a terrible schedule, I'm not gonna
I was
lie.
managing it, but it definitely was not pretty because my grades plummeted. I was barely passing my classes, but I valued YouTube over school, so I mean that was good enough for me. Fast forward to the end of the school year and we had to take exams that I could not afford to fail because of the state of my grades. And of all the tests that I would be taking, the one that scared me the most was my calculus exam, because numbers are exact. With other classes, you can finesse your way out of wrong answers because the topics are vague. For example, what is the last step of the water cycle? Precipitation or rain? Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue or committed mass genocide? What is the hidden meaning behind to kill a mockingbird?
Is that calculus? I'm so confused.
Nobody fucking knows.
Vague questions, vague answers.
Very.
You can't really do that with numbers, bro. Like 2 + 2 is 4. Nigga, if you don't know that, you're getting the question wrong. And we were so deep into pre-cal that the math tests look like English tests, okay? I still do math on my fingers. I am not catching up. So the thought of that test ate at my soul. But I still mainly focused on pursuing YouTube because that was what I wanted to do with my life. So I think to myself, yeah, I'll just wing it. Yeah, the
Look
test
at the
probably
mini
isn't
hand.
even that long anyway. I'll have a calculator. Like, the answer should not be that hard to figure out.
Is that supposed to be the
honestly.
angel
You're
on the
right,
shoulder
even
or what?
If I fail, I mean, it won't bring my grade down that much. So I keep animating in school.
Literally, bro, that's my mindset during
Until one day I'm in
exams.
class
Like,
and the
my
bell rings,
mindset
but
is,
before I get a
it
chance to
won't bring my
leave,
grade down
teacher,
that
who
much if
named
I get
Mrs.
it.
B, calls me up and says, Yo-Yo, are you ready for the exam tomorrow? Ready for the... I hope you do not plan
What
on
accent
leaving.
is that?
The test is 5 pages long. 5 pages? Even though you'll have a calculator, if you do not know the material...
It sounds like
you
an
won't find the
African and
answers.
London
Like,
accent.
2 + 2 is 4. Nigga, I get that, but quite frankly, if you do not pass, you will not be able to walk the stage. But listen, I want the best for you. So
He really
please
said the
take
N-word
this
is not
code out
even
study guide,
black.
Go home and go over it. Good luck. She hands me the study guide, turns around, and the only thing I can think is, no one told me that we had an exam tomorrow. I am going to walk out of high school if I don't pass a 5-page state-issued calculus exam.
5?
Tomorrow. But instead of folding, I decided to tighten up my act and actually study. And study, I did. I was up till at
You better.
4 a.m. going over this study.
You better
guide.
do
I
that.
had it down hack. I go to sleep, wake up the next day, and I genuinely feel hyped to take this test. I haven't put this much effort into studying, like, ever. So I sit at my desk with the utmost confidence. The packet gets handed to me. I open the test, pick up my pencil, and put that hole right back down. I did not know not one thing on this test, bro. Not one thing I studied was
I know how
on
it feels
the
at all.
test.
I know how
What
it
is on
feels
this
for real.
paper, bro? If f is a continuous function on the interval a/b, then d over dx. Why am I learning this? Honestly, I vividly remember that it was at this point in my life
Look
that
at
I
the
realized
cat.
school was
That's
not for
funny.
me and that I was not gonna go to college. This test was so confusing that I had an existential crisis. I think to myself, I gotta cheat. Like, I have to cheat. There's no way I'm passing this. But I had no way to cheat because this was an impromptu decision. I had no time to prepare,
Bro,
and I
online
was not
school
gonna
is so easy
freestyle
to
cheat because that would do nothing but
finesse.
get me caught. And if I get caught, I'm definitely failing the test and not graduating. I was stuck. I really had nothing to do. I started to panic, and then
So what'd you do?
okay,
Let me
guys,
know.
class is over. Turn in your test in the back room. I look at the clock. I panicked for 2 whole hours, yo. And in an attempt
What is he
to
gonna
save my high
do?
school career, I take my test up to my teacher and ask if I
Don't
could
tell me
finish
he
the test
guessed.
tomorrow. And since she knew my situation, she generously agrees. But I realized that this only bought me a little bit of time. Like, the inevitable is gonna happen. But right as I put my test in the back, it hits me. I think
What
of a
happened?
master plan
Let's go.
that would make me pass this test.
Let's do it. The highs, let's get it.
So I'm in the back of the classroom, unfinished test in hand, with the weight of my entire
Talk to me.
4-year high school career on my shoulders. And I'm smiling because I know exactly what I have to do. So
If
the
this
plan is
plan
very
don't
simple.
work,
Whenever
I don't
we
know
take
what
tests,
will.
Mrs. B stays after school to grade them. I know this because I also stayed in the building after school. Because at the time, I was actually new to this school. I moved from South Carolina to Texas in my senior year
I live
of
in
high school.
Texas.
And when I moved, one of my U.S. history credits did not transfer, so I had to take an after-school class.
South
to finish it.
Carolina
So the
look
bell
like a
rings and
Superman
all the
logo.
students leave, and I go to my social studies class. I sit in the back of the class and stare out the door window patiently, waiting for Mrs. B to finish grading and leave. A couple hours pass, and I hear exactly the sound that I was waiting for. I look out the window, and I see her walking away. Game time. So I raise my hand, ask to go to the bathroom, and I'm out. So I leave and head for Mrs. B's class. Luckily enough for me, her door wasn't locked. So I open the door to the dark classroom, and right before I enter, I stop and think, if I walk into this room, not only would I be betraying the trust of my social studies teacher, but also the trust of a teacher that gave me tests,
Bro, just do
answers,
it.
and an extra day to take the test. But I'll also pass high school, so, walk in, don't get caught, whatever, go ahead. So I walk in and close the door behind me. I can't see anything, but I didn't want to alert anyone by turning on the light. This is a quick operation. All they had to do was grab one of the grading
Look how
tests from the
blind
tray
he
in the
is.
back, take a picture of it on my phone so I can use it on the test, and then dip. So I feel my way to the back of the class. I get there, I find the tray, but then
Oh no, I already
feel
know
something.
something about to happen. No,
something
no.
that wasn't here before. I soon realize that the jig is up. I'm
Don't
done for.
get
I turn
caught.
around because the thing
Please
that
don't
I'm
get
feeling
caught.
is an empty test tray. The tests weren't in the back of the class, which means now I have to actively look for the tests, which is a problem because I don't want to risk getting caught, but I'm in way too deep, so I have no choice but to keep going. So I turn on my phone flashlight and I search religiously. I'm going through her desk, file cabinets, everything. The whole time I'm doing this, I'm shaking, I'm breathing heavy, I'm paranoid. I was on
Somebody's
edge,
gonna come
okay?
in.
I can't stress how much of a high-stakes situation this was. I was breaking so many rules.
Oh,
But after
my.
searching, I finally find the test under some papers on Mrs. B's desk. Yo,
Take it and go.
this is actually working. I take pictures of every sheet on that test, but now that I had the merchandise, I needed to escape, like, now. My anxiety
My only
is
question
on
is, how
10
is he
because
gonna
it's
look
like
at the answers while he's
8:30
taking the test on his phone?
PM
if
at
the
this
teacher's
point. I'm
watching
literally
it?
behind my teacher's desk, holding someone else's graded state final exam. If I get caught, there is literally no logical excuse I can make. It's over. Screw not graduating. I could get expelled. Maybe even arrested for trespassing, honestly. And almost as if it was
Wow,
on
that's
cue,
tough.
before I could even put the test back, the light in the room turns on. I feel the coldest chill down my spine. I turn around and no one is there. I look around and I realize the lights in the room must be like automatic with the sensor, and I guess it's delayed to save power. I never knew that because I was always in the classroom during the day filled with people, so the lights were always on. But I then realized Mrs. B's room is right in front of her parked car, and it's night. She could very obviously see the light turn on. I just gotta get out of here now. I make a run for the door, but before I open it, I hear footsteps.
No
coming
way.
from the hall. You know what footsteps I'm talking about. Heels, walkie-talkie, dangling keys. I'm compromised because if I walk out now, they will see me. I freeze out of fear. The noise gets louder. Louder and louder. The locked door unlocks. The door swings open, and then I'm at the rip.
Alright, that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.
Hey! Can I bother? Can we Thomas the trainer? I think I can. Pull up a water me like I'm dead in your revenge. My the big face so you can say